Well, if you're a fan of the channel here, you know that one of the big things that I love the most in racing is vintage racing. My daughter was fortunate enough to do it for a season back in 2019, and last weekend when we were out at Fonda, I saw a whole bunch of cars from Mohawk Valley Vintage Dirt Modified Series. A lot of the stuff that's like the way modifieds used to be 30 years ago, but also a lot of really cool stock cars and things like that. There's a lot of creativity. It's a lot more work than putting together a Sportsman with all the bolt kits, so these drivers do a heck of a lot of work on these cars. Here from the MVVDMS is Laurie Fallis. She is the promoter, and she also handles a lot of the media aspects. In addition to that, she has raced, so she has actually been out there, not only raced, but won about 30 wins over her career. She's won championships in 4 cylinders at Glen Ridge and 5 Mile Point. So not only does she follow racing, she knows what it's like to be out there. So let's head out to Gloversville, which is only about 10 minutes away from Fonda Speedway. Laurie Fallis joining us. Laurie, how we doing on a beautiful Sunday?
Yes, we're doing great. Thank you for reaching out to me. I'm pretty excited about you giving me a call, and we can just talk about the Vintage Series and a couple other things.
So that was a really nice presence that I thought you had at the mall. You had to be extremely happy with the cars that showed up to help you guys out.
Yeah, we had a really great turnout. The fans came. We actually had 13 cars representing the 5 divisions that we run. And that's, we have, 13 was the biggest car count that we have had at the Fonda Speedway car show. Brett Dale and the Fonda Speedway management always let us be a part of it, so we're pretty excited to be a part of that.
12 races this year on the schedule, starting early, by the way. They're going to be part of the Spring Fling season opener at Fonda Speedway on April 29th. They're going to finish out their season October 7th at Afton. That's during Super Dirt Week. That's part of that show there. What is the state of vintage racing right now? Because if anything is a casual outsider, it seems to me like it's getting more popular. Is that fair to say?
That's very fair to say. This will be my 5th year with the Mohawk Valley Vintage Dirt Modified Series, and when I took over, I used to sit up in the stands, and when the vintage cars came out, you would hear fans say, "Oh, geez, the vintage are coming out, so let's go grab a hot dog,"
right,
or, go to the bathroom. But now it's grown so popular that actually the vintage series, the races are actually more entertaining to the fans than the regular racing. The fans get to see different cars, the way they're contoured different. It's a little, these cars of today, you just can't tell the modifieds from the sportsmen because they got the bigger bodies and they all look the same except for their graphics on the cars. So we have a lot of great, exciting races. We usually run 3 features because we average between 34 to 40 cars at our events. So we have 5 divisions, and we classify the cars where we feel needed. We do have rules. But the main thing is trying to put the competitors where their competition level is. But, I mean, the fans watch the race. They come around, the drivers. But it's vintage racing of 2023 is going to be bigger and better than ever. It's huge.
Who are the people that do this? Are they former racers? Are they younger people? Who are the racers, not just with you guys, but just in general, that find vintage racing more appealing than, racing something new?
Well, we have a lot of drivers that used to drive back in the day, maybe 30, 40 years ago, that with the vintage growing, it took on popularity, and it came to these guys that, geez, maybe we can once again step back into a race car and still finish out their lives. We're doing what they love, getting into cars, representing themselves with some cases. I mean, we have some drivers that were track champions at the high level. We have guys that are just love watching, has an interest of when they were young kids and just getting in these cars with no experience at all. They just want to go out and have a good time. We do have younger kids coming in just to get their feet wet, to see maybe if it's something that they like, to maybe move on up the ladder in the future. But I tell you what, the younger kids, they we've been lucky that we don't really have many that come in that just think they're going to set the world on fire. They know what it is, what it's about, and they all have a level head on their shoulders of what vintage, what we're trying to do, keeping the memories of the past alive for the fans. We have people that just, like car owners want to get into the cars just to go around the track, different races we go to. But yeah, we have a variety of all ages. And so it's the main bottom line is just having fun. The older ones, of course, just want to finish out their careers. We do have drivers that were racing and then stopped and came into the vintage as well to just, finish off they're older. I mean, we have drivers from, 16 years old to 80 years old.
That's nice. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
And the nice thing, too, is that they get to go to some unbelievable racetracks. I mean, let's be honest. You guys are going to go to Fonda, Utica Rome, Devil's Bowl, Albany, Saratoga, Lebanon Valley, Airborne, Brookfield, and Afton. So it's for a lot of the drivers have told me, too, that when you get running for points, a lot of times you maybe only go to 1 or 2, maybe 3 speedways a year. Here, you're going to go to a whole bunch just in one season. That's got to be part of the attraction, right?
Yeah, that is part of the attraction. A lot of drivers, what that winding down in their racing careers, that you no longer race competitively, as far as racing at a track, 4 points and stuff. We do have points, but a lot of our races are open shows where like anybody from all the different tracks can come and race with us. But that is a big attraction of going to different tracks that they never would have raced at when they were regular racing back in their day.
You've got to be excited about this season for another reason, too. You're getting inducted into the Northeast Hall of Fame and the Women in Racing Award. First of all, congratulations. And with the class you're going in, wow, that's really something.
Yeah, I'm pretty proud of that. I was surprised when Buffy Swanson called me up and told me, I've been around the sport since 1984,
wow.
And I'll always remember that year because that's when Jack Johnson went 4 for 4 at up to Syracuse on the Moody Mile. So, but yeah, and we used to go there to camp up to Weedsport, and we used to race up to Lake Canandaigua. We'd race at Weedsport and then roll wheels back in the 90s, and we used to go over to the Hall of Fame to watch. And never in a million years would I think that I would be on those Hall of Fame walls.
You're going to be a little nervous that day, do you think, or you think you'll be okay?
When I think about it now, I'll be okay, but I'm sure I'll be pretty nervous on that day.
Yeah, maybe even the night before as you try to get to sleep before the sun comes up. So, congratulations, seriously. And again,
thank you.
Go to the series. Go to Facebook if you guys are there. Mohawk Valley Vintage Dirt Modified Series. Like it. Laurie puts up a lot of stuff, too. So it's not like you're going to go days going, when's she going to put something up again? There's a lot of stuff there. And if you're interested, if somebody is interested in this and they want to find out more, what's the best way about how they can find out how to build a vintage modified the way it's supposed to be built?
Well, they can go on to our Facebook page and they can send, through Messenger, our Messenger on the Mohawk Valley Vintage Dirt Modified Series. They can also reach out to me, Laurie Fallis, on my Messenger as well, or just, write on a comment, their email addresses, and ask for the rules, and we can, get that right out to them to let them know of what our rules are.
Very good. So if you're interested, if you don't want to spend $50,000 on a new Sportsman, you want to get a lot more bang for your buck, race a lot of different tracks, vintage modified racing might be for you. Laurie, appreciate your time. Good luck. Make sure to keep in touch, okay?
I appreciate it, Doug. I'm glad that we finally got to talk.
And if you go back on my channel to last week, I got a video where it's a lot of the vintage cars that you'll see with this series. So a lot of cool stuff, so make sure to check that out. Of course, hit the blue E, subscribe, turn on the likes. There's a super thanks at the bottom if you want to help us out financially. But, hey, we're going to have a great season. Laurie, I hope you do too. Congratulations on the induction, and I'll see you soon. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.